Chinese electric bicycles are selling like crazy overseas. Once a bicycle power, now also a two-wheeled electric vehicle power. China is the world's largest two-wheeled electric vehicle production and consumption market. At present, China is still a major exporter of two-wheeled electric vehicles. Two-wheeled electric vehicle brands have taken advantage of the situation and have formed three major camps, namely traditional brands represented by Yadea, Emma, Tailing, and Shinri, emerging brands represented by Neo Electric and Ninebot, and cross-border players represented by DJI, which announced its entry into the e-bike market, and Hello, which has deployed shared electric vehicles overseas. Major brands have opened up new territories in overseas markets and successfully made a name for Chinese two-wheeled electric vehicles. What enlightenment can this bring to us? Why did a number of Chinese motorcycle companies fail in entering the Southeast Asian market at the end of the last century? In this video, let us learn more about it. In the hot summer, in a production workshop in Jiangsu, workers are busy assembling different parts. Brand new electric bicycles are walking from the assembly line to the laboratory. When the inspection is completed, these electric bicycles will be sold all over the world. From January to May 2024, the company's exports of two-wheeled electric vehicles increased by more than 30% year-on-year. At present, the company will further expand its production capacity and continue to increase its overseas market. This is just a microcosm of the journey of domestic two-wheeled electric vehicles going global. Thanks to China's world-leading manufacturing industry chain and the daily commuting needs of a large population base, the world's most vigorous market for two-wheeled electric vehicles has been created. At present, China has become the world's largest exporter, manufacturer, and consumer of two-wheeled electric vehicles. In recent years, China's two-wheeled electric vehicle production capacity has continued to exceed domestic market demand. According to public data, China's two-wheeled electric vehicle production in 2022 will be 59.04 million, while domestic sales will be only 51.5 million, and there is still a market demand gap of nearly 8 million vehicles in China. It took China's two-wheeled electric vehicle market 40 years to grow from zero to an annual sales volume of more than 50 million. 1. Starting stage, 1983-2000. In 1983, China's first two-wheeled electric vehicle designed and mass-produced independently was launched. The manufacturer was Shanghai Forever, which was famous for its Forever bicycles. At that time, compared with the bicycles that sold well all over the country, the Forever brand of electric vehicles was not very impressive, and China's manufacturing level was limited at that time, and few key technologies for electric vehicles such as motors and batteries were mastered. Many electric bicycles had a range of less than 30 kilometers, poor climbing ability, and were prone to wear. It was like a fantasy to replace the bicycle, which was one of the three major items at that time. But the market demand for two-wheeled electric vehicles did not disappear. 2. Initial scale, 2001-2004. With the rapid advancement of China's urbanization process, short-distance travel in cities has become a problem that residents must face in their lives. Short-distance travel tools such as two-wheeled electric vehicles, which have small footprints and are green and environmentally friendly, have begun to be popular. At the beginning of this century, many electric vehicle companies began to scale up production, and their key technologies and performance were improved, gradually becoming substitutes for motorcycles and bicycles. In addition, the motorcycle ban across the country at that time and the sudden SARS helped promote the rapid development of the domestic two-wheeled electric vehicle market, and the demand for personal non-public travel ushered in a blowout development. In 2004, large-scale enterprises represented by brands such as Xinri, Luyuan, Qianhe, and Dalugu were formed. 3. High-speed development period, 2005-2013. In 2005, China's electric bicycle production exceeded 10 million. Among them, companies such as Emma, Fujita, and Colin from Tianjin turned to producing simple electric bicycles that meet the needs of northern consumers. Wuxi's Yadia, Xinri, and Speedy are specialized in luxury models, and the pattern of luxury in the south and simplicity in the north in the industry has been formed and has influenced it to this day. During the golden decade of rapid development of China's two-wheeled electric vehicles, the core of competition among various companies was brand. In 2010, the slogan "Love, Act Now" helped Emma become the sales champion of the year. At that time, a group of companies behind Emma were not to be outdone. They combined their own brand characteristics and shouted slogans, trying to plant a seed in the hearts of consumers in advance. Yadi Electric Vehicles, a well-known trademark in China. Buy a good car, choose Luyuan. During this period, various companies invested heavily in advertising and invited celebrities to endorse in order to increase consumer awareness and favorability and quickly promote products. 4. Mature stage, 2014-2018. In 2014, the production and sales of two-wheeled electric vehicles in China fell for the first time. The industry ended more than 10 years of rapid growth and entered a mature development stage. During this period, the scale of the two-wheeled electric vehicle industry gradually expanded, and the homogeneous competition of major brands was serious. The industry began to integrate deeply. Many electric vehicle brands gradually disappeared during this period. The head brands quickly harvested market share, and the industry competition pattern was initially formed. 5. New National Standard Stage, 2019-2022. Marked by the implementation of the new national standard for two-wheeled electric vehicles in 2019, the electric vehicle industry has entered a growth stage again. Most of the old two-wheeled electric vehicles need to be replaced because they do not meet the new standards. This period has the characteristics of market expansion, industry clearance, and increased industry concentration. The competition among major brands is no longer a single dimension of channels, products, or technologies, but the comprehensive competitiveness of enterprises. 6. Globalization period, 2023-present. Starting from 2023, two-wheeled electric vehicles will begin to globalize in an all-round way. The current domestic market ownership is high. Under the existing competitive factors, the sales of major brands will enter a new period of fluctuation. The key to competition at this stage, in addition to factors such as brand, channel, product, and cost controllability, is equally important as the degree of product intelligence and globalization ability. Before globalization, different electric vehicle products were similar. In terms of product functions, they mainly met consumers' daily commuting needs. In terms of product functions and appearance, there was not much differentiated competition. But when electric vehicles go beyond China, consumers in different countries and regions have different demands for two-wheeled electric vehicles. At this time, Chinese two-wheeled electric vehicle companies are required to redefine their products through intelligence and provide differentiated services to consumers in different regions. Through the experience accumulated in production and sales around the world, the global service capabilities of products can be improved. However, there are huge product differences and consumption differences in the two-wheeled electric vehicle industry. Chinese two-wheeled electric vehicle companies not only need to sort out the environmental differences in different markets around the world, but also need to face many challenges and difficulties in entering the local market. Despite facing many difficulties and challenges for two-wheeled electric vehicle companies, going overseas has become a choice that must be made. In sharp contrast to the narrowing and slowing growth of the domestic two-wheeled electric vehicle market, China's overseas market for electric bicycles is growing rapidly. According to a report by Frost & Sullivan, in the next 5 years, the compound annual growth rate of two-wheeled electric vehicles in countries and regions other than China will reach 19.4%. China's annual compound growth rate is about 4.6%. For domestic two-wheeled electric vehicle manufacturers, going overseas has become a compulsory course. For major two-wheeled electric vehicle manufacturers in China, cultural differences in different markets are one of the important challenges for brands to go overseas. From the marketing perspective, the overseas marketing of two-wheeled electric vehicles must adhere to the principle of localization, present local content on various overseas social platforms, communicate directly with consumers, and convey brands and products in a way that fits the local language, national conditions, and user habits, so as to take the internationalization path of the brand. From the product perspective, overseas products of two-wheeled electric vehicles also need to meet the special needs of local consumers. Different countries and regions have different market environments and consumption habits, and the requirements for product functions are also different. As China's hometown of two-wheeled electric vehicles, Wuxi Xishan District is familiar with the preferences of consumers in major markets around the world. Among the markets around the world, the most representative ones are the European and American markets and the Southeast Asian markets. 1. European and American markets, starting with transportation, not just transportation. For consumers in the European and American markets, two-wheeled electric vehicles can not only meet daily travel needs, but they are more inclined to an environmentally friendly and fashionable lifestyle. In recent years, due to the impact of the epidemic, the proportion of people traveling by public transportation in Europe and the United States has declined, and more people have begun to choose personal travel. Two-wheeled electric vehicles not only perfectly meet the needs of personal travel, but also meet the two major topics that Europeans and Americans are concerned about: environmental protection and health. Combined with cycling culture and rising gasoline prices, two-wheeled electric vehicles have become popular in Europe and the United States. Consumers in the European and American markets are less sensitive to prices, have great market potential, and have a higher profit margin. For two-wheeled electric vehicles, local consumers are more concerned about appearance, design, portability, and battery life. For example, starting from Germany, the most popular product of NIO electric vehicles that entered the European market is electric scooters. The representative product is the Keiqi 1 Sport electric scooter launched by NIO in Germany and Spain. It is lightweight and easy to control, has a battery life of 25 kilometers, and is priced at €399. In Q3 2022, NIO's overseas sales of electric scooters reached 55,000 units, doubling the month-on-month growth, and users are generally younger. In addition, NIO CEO Li Yan said, "Globalization is localization. NIO's brand operation team is multinational and can combine local user operations and local market demand to create a high-end brand rather than simply talking about the concept of Chinese brands going overseas. For example, NIO's new skateboard models exported to Europe and the United States have chosen tires with large wheel diameters and widths. Considering the physique of European and American people, NIO has also designed widened pedals and handlebars. In terms of styling, the family language angel eye headlights are continued, and matte black color matching is added in Europe and the United States. For different overseas markets, NIO's prices in the United States and Germany are relatively high, while those in Spain and Italy are relatively low. In addition, due to the high requirements for product endurance in the European and American markets, NIO is also actively promoting battery replacement business locally. 2. Southeast Asian market, cost-effectiveness and rigid demand. Local market. In the case of the motorcycle ban implemented in some Southeast Asian countries as a substitute for motorcycles, the core demand of Southeast Asian consumers for two-wheeled electric vehicles is still power and endurance. Therefore, electric motorcycles that are closer to fuel motorcycles in terms of performance, control, and user experience are often popular among consumers in the Southeast Asian market. Vietnam is the country with the highest penetration rate of two-wheeled electric vehicles in Southeast Asia. In addition, the Vietnamese government is also actively supporting the further popularization of electric vehicles through measures such as tariff exemptions and consumer subsidies. Indonesia's two-wheeled electric vehicle market is also very representative. Based on the oil-to-electricity policy implemented by the Indonesian government, a large number of motorcycles are gradually being eliminated. Indonesia has now become the largest two-wheeled electric vehicle market in ASEAN and the third largest in the world. From the policy perspective, the Indonesian government has set the goal of converting 20% of fuel two-wheeled vehicles to electric two-wheeled vehicles by 2025, and the number of electric two-wheeled vehicles reaches 1.8 million, and plans to sell only electric two-wheeled vehicles in Indonesia from 2040. In addition, the Indonesian government is also accelerating the construction of electric vehicle charging stations, providing a subsidy of 7 million rupiah for local electric motorcycles purchased by local consumers, and vigorously supporting the promotion of two-wheeled electric vehicles in the local area. For local consumers, compared with buying motorcycles, choosing to buy a two-wheeled electric vehicle will save them 2-3 months of salary expenses each year, which has strong economic benefits. Chinese companies. In the Southeast Asian market, Yadi and IMA are the first two-wheeled electric vehicle companies to enter. As early as 2008, Yadi had entered the Southeast Asian market. Yadi established its first overseas production base in Vietnam in 2019. The electric vehicles produced and sold by Yadi locally have a battery life that is 3 times longer than that of ordinary local electric donkeys. At the same time, it has an ultra-high performance of 80% charging in 1 hour. The car can adapt to a variety of road conditions and scenarios. Whether it is product quality or performance, it is very close to the level of motorcycles, and the price is cheaper than motorcycles, which is very competitive. IMA settled in the China-ASEAN New Energy Vehicle Production Base in 2018. EMA also pursues localized operations in the Southeast Asian market, accurately grasping the needs of local users through adjustments and innovative models. Indeed, Whether in the relatively high-end European and American markets or in Southeast Asia, where two-wheeled electric vehicles are regarded as daily commuting necessities, domestic two-wheeled electric vehicle companies can create products suitable for local consumers, based on the characteristics of the local market, meet the needs of different consumers, and provide them with more humane services. The key to the successful internationalization of these companies lies in the human touch of thinking one step further for consumers. Can an enterprise that only values short-term profits and is unwilling to consider and provide emotional value for users really not be able to internationalize and go global? The answer is no. For example, in the 1990s, China's domestic parts had advantages in hardware cost, transportation cost, and labor dividends. Chinese-made motorcycles could be sold at half the price of Japanese equivalents on the basis of the same configuration, and they were profitable and available at any time. Chinese motorcycles, which have the advantage of cost performance, began to enter the Vietnamese market through various trade methods such as border trade in Yunnan and Guangxi and export trade. In 2002, China's motorcycle exports to Vietnam reached $1.92 billion, with a market share of nearly 90%, becoming the mainstream in the Vietnamese motorcycle market. It took only 3 years for domestic motorcycles to go from zero to a market share of nearly 90% in the Vietnamese market. After Chinese motorcycles successfully occupied the Vietnamese market, they thought they had defeated the most powerful Japanese opponent and could finally make money. Unexpectedly, the most brutal competition had just begun. Faced with domestic brands that also rely on price wars to survive, major manufacturers have offered more discounts than in the past, and prices are getting lower day by day. During the critical period, various motorcycle companies did not do a good job in brand building and after-sales service. On the contrary, in order to compete for market share, they launched a brutal price war in Vietnam. When major motorcycle companies believe that they can win all in the market through price wars and involution, they no longer have time to take care of product quality, after-sales service, and other aspects. The story after that is very simple. Many motorcycle companies began to roll up prices, and no one made a profit, so they had to reduce costs. And in the end they would not hesitate to reduce costs and sacrifice quality, which directly led to an overall decline in product quality. Even some companies have repeatedly reduced the testing of products, and finally made the market a test field and treated consumers as guinea pigs. Until one day in 2004, Ho Chi Minh City TV reported, someone riding a Chinese brand motorcycle was injured because the frame was broken. This incident became the focus of discussion in Vietnam in a short period of time, and the media reports specifically mentioned that more Vietnamese people have found that Japanese motorcycles can be used for more than 10 years and rarely need maintenance, but Chinese motorcycles have to be scrapped in 2 or 3 years. Although Japanese motorcycles are more expensive, they are still cost-effective overall. In just over a year, Japanese motorcycle companies have regained the Vietnamese market again, with a comprehensive market share of more than 95%, while Chinese brands have only about 1% of the market share. In the Vietnamese market, Chinese motorcycles have returned home with a failure. This time, the domestic two-wheeled electric vehicles have been very successful overseas, and the key lies in the innovation of various companies for different markets. NIO Electric Vehicles, which focuses on the European and American markets, displayed an electric vehicle with a maximum speed of 100 km/h at the 2023 Milan International two-wheeled vehicle exhibition. Its new products are suitable for urban streets and rugged mountain roads, equipped with long-range, high-horsepower batteries, and are specially designed for urban off-road adventure enthusiasts. In addition, its carbon fiber electric scooter K-Chi Air has a frame made of carbon fiber material and weighs only 11.7 kilograms. The extremely lightweight design ensures unparalleled portability and flexibility, which can meet the short-distance needs of urban commuting. Yadia and Tailing electric vehicles, which focus on the Southeast Asian market, have also created unique products based on local characteristics. For professional motorcyclists who like speed and passion, Yadia has launched an electric motorcycle with an acceleration of 3 seconds per 100 kilometers, which is faster than any Japanese motorcycle. Tailing electric vehicles has launched models with stronger climbing ability and endurance in response to the terrain and traffic conditions in Southeast Asian countries. In addition, Tailing has also launched smart electric vehicles in the Southeast Asian market, which realize vehicle positioning, anti-theft alarm and other functions through mobile phone applications, bringing practical convenience to local consumers. Many Chinese companies have been able to successfully internationalize by bringing practical convenience to local consumers. In addition to providing products, they also provide emotional value to local consumers, making the companies more humane. For example, the American beverage giant Coca-Cola will carefully launch special packaging with strong Chinese traditional cultural elements during the Spring Festival in the Chinese market. The bottle is not only printed with vivid zodiac images, but also decorated with festive blessing characters and Spring Festival couplets full of blessings. Domestic consumers can feel the strong festive atmosphere in such products, and such products themselves have become part of the Spring Festival reunion. Toyota, the world's largest automaker, will design and improve vehicles in a targeted manner according to market demand and actual road conditions in different countries and regions. In North America, in order to adapt to consumers' preference for large vehicles and power performance, the models launched locally are larger and more powerful, and in order to cope with the narrow streets and strict emission standards in Europe, the models in the European market are more compact and more energy efficient overall. In addition, international catering brands like McDonald's, which we are familiar with, have different products in different countries and regions. For example, in the United States, local stores mostly have large portion meal packages, in addition to a variety of special sauces and ingredients to choose from. In China, McDonald's has launched products with Chinese characteristics such as fried dough sticks and porridge. In addition, it will also launch limited products according to different festivals, such as red bean pie during the Spring Festival. In India, due to religious and cultural reasons, local McDonald's mainly sells chicken, fish and vegetables, and no beef products. Indeed, no matter which industry a company is in, if it wants to go steady and far on the road of internationalization, it must be localized. In addition to going out, it is more important to go in. A truly successful international company is not only selling products and services all over the world, but more importantly, brand output and local consumers' recognition of corporate values. Behind this, a company needs to be humane. The two-wheeled electric vehicle industry is just one of many industries in China. Under the big wave of going overseas, today, many two-wheeled electric vehicle companies are just a few waves at the forefront, and the reason why these waves are special and dazzling is that they dare to stand at the forefront, chase the bright side, and serve only for the full satisfaction of consumers. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more great content. See you next time.